Crabman from Crabman Gaming here, and today I am going through my top 10 most valuable PlayStation 3 games. They are from the PAL Australia region. My pricing does come from pricecharting.com, so you have to be a little bit flexible with it. In front of you is my big, beefy, original fat PlayStation 3. Number 10 is Rambo the video game, coming in with a value of 55 Australian dollars, 37 US dollars and 29 British pounds. Now, you may have loved the original Rambo films with Sylvester Stallone. However, you will not love Rambo the video game. This game was given just a 2 out of 10 by IGN, a very, very low Metacritic. It is an on-rails shooter. However, it is so bad, it is almost good to play now, but it is an expensive game to find. You get to win this time. I kind of want to do it in the Sylvester Stallone accent. Prepare for the ultimate authentic Rambo experience. Relive the thrills and blood spills of First Blood, Rambo First Blood Part 2, and Rambo 3. Master John Rambo's weaponry to defeat the enemy, from explosive arrows to that trusty, life-saving and taking knife. We have features actual voices of Rambo and Colonel Troutman from the motion pictures, so no re-recording needed. Let's just rip the audio straight off the film. Let's check it out inside. Either it didn't come with a book or I don't have one. I probably just didn't get the book with it, in all fairness. So let's have a little look at the disc. Now, one of the very, very rare games in Australia to, especially in the PS3 era, to get an R18 rating as well, because Australia didn't even have an R rating until well into the PS3 era. So most games that should have been R, well, they were just MA, and then eventually the rating system changed. So let me know down below if you've played Rambo the video game. If you do like this video, flick a quick like down the bottom, subscribe, you're awesome, and super thanks as well. Number 9 is the God of War Collection, coming in at a value of 55 Australian dollars, 37 US dollars and 29 British pounds. Now, the valuations with this game might be different in your region. I know a lot of games I have are a lot cheaper in the US. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. I also have this collection on the Vita, so you may be seeing this game again in a later video, but remastered in high definition from the PlayStation 2. We have God of War 1 and God of War 2, and you do get a cool making of video as well. 2 epic adventures. Kratos, the most infamous warrior in ancient Greece, hovers on the edge of madness, hunted by an insatiable hunger to destroy Ares, the god of war. But as he rages through battle after bloody battle with mounting force, he must strive to alter that which no god, no mortal, has ever changed, his own hellish fate. Now, I feel a bit guilty because I haven't played the original God of War 1 or 2. I played God of War on the PS4, so let's have a little look at the disc, which is pretty boring. It's pretty similar to the background of the cover here. But we do have, I've got my receipt. I actually picked up this game pretty recently. As you can see up the top, God of War 3, $22.50. So I thought that was a pretty good price. And hey, look, I also got Tekken 2 for the PS1 for $13.50 as well. So had a pretty good day out there game collecting. You do have to be very thrifty when you have nearly 3,000 video games. It has a cool book. The book is in really good condition. I'll flick it through for you. Just some regular information. A note from the developers: we are thrilled. Setting up, I mean, I don't know why you need the manual to put the disc in, but here are the basic controls of God of War. Get your heavy attacks, your normal attacks, your chain grabs, which you should be seeing in the footage as well. I did enjoy having a little blast through the start of these two games. I really enjoyed the game on PS4 as well. I probably should play the others, but if you're anything like me and you are a collector, you have so much to play that you just can't play absolutely everything. So I would like to play these games, but who knows. Cool manual as well. and out now, Heavy Rain. That is an amazing game if you haven't played it, but hopefully you've played these two awesome games. Number 8 is Tales of Xillia 2, coming in at a value of 57 Australian dollars, $38.50 US, and 30 British pounds. Now, I am a massive fan of the Tales series. For me, Tales of Grace's F is my favourite. I loved Xillia 1 on the PS3, and Xillia 2 was good as well. I've played the PS4 games, Zestiria and Berseria. Zestiria wasn't great, and Arise on PS5, along with Tales of Hearts R, which you may see on the PS Vita video. So we've got the power of choice. A lot of people were critical of the big fine that you got at the start of this game and that you had to pay it back, but for me that was only a little part of the story, and that didn't really affect the game for me. You've got Ludger Kresnik. In the first game, you're trying to find the Lance of Kresnik. A young man with a zest for cooking lives with his older brother and cat, Rollo, in the world of Olympios. On his way to his first day at work for a local cafeteria, he runs into a young girl named Elmata, and the two soon become involved in an accident that will change both of their lives forever. So I think that's where he gets the fine. So I have beaten this game, but it was back, I believe, in 2014, I think this game was released. I think it was just a straight year after Xillia. I think Xillia was 2013, and I think this was 2014 from memory, but probably came out a little bit earlier in Japan. Normally took a couple of years for the localization to come over. Let's check out the book. We do get the book as well. We get a little registration card. Let's have a little look at our Xillia 2 book. Always the information at the start. I like these books don't have to be too massive, but let's see if it's a good book or a pretty average book. Oh no, I thought there were 2 pages stuck together. Controls, pretty regular. Now look, not a massive book. That is really it for the book. Really, it's like a 1-page book of L and Ludger. So L is 8, Ludger 20. I'll let you have a little look. And I couldn't seem to access my save data from before either, so you're just seeing a little bit of footage from the beginning of the game. If I've normally got save data, I normally try and play it from there. Number 7 is El Shaddai Ascension of the Metatron. Not a game you see very often, and it is valued at 58 Australian dollars, 39 US dollars, and 31 British pounds. However, this game has been stickered as it didn't get a Australian release. So technically this is the US release, which normally goes for about 10 US dollars more, but I'm going to stick with my list as it stands. A very unique game. It kind of is platforming at some parts and more adventure in other parts. So journey to a world that no mortal has seen. Experience an adventure that perfectly balances and fuses together different types of gameplay. 3D exploration, 3D battles, 2D exploration, 2D battles. So it kind of feels a bit like when Mario Odyssey kind of flips between the 2 and 3D modes, a little bit like that. Lose yourself in constantly changing dreamscapes, crafted with a revolutionary artistic style. Easy to learn, hard to master. Now, bit of a confession, I've only played this game for about an hour. Just too many games to play, but I liked it because it looked really interesting, and I like picking up anything that looks unusual. So this could have made my top 10 unusual game, unique game list, which will come out in a few weeks as well, so check that out. But it was valued pretty high, so I like that the disc is different to the cover. That's not always the case, so it's a very blue theme going on and yellow on the case. I do have my original receipt, so you can have a look here. El Shaddai, $13. I did buy it, oh my goodness, nearly 9 years ago now, so that makes me feel a bit funny inside. But I still have it after all this time. Maybe one day I'll get around to playing it. Now you get a very very thick book. Sometimes with these books, they come in all the languages in one book, but we'll have a look. So, story on page 2. I like we're straight into the story, so this could be interesting to have a look at if you don't have a copy of the game, or if you do have a copy of the game, but it didn't come with the manual. So a lot of time it didn't really matter if you didn't get the manual, but there's Enoch. But this game seems to have a very PS2 era full detailed manual, so you have a little bit of a look getting started. A very unique game. I'm not sure if it sold particularly well, which is a little bit of a shame with these games. Guard break, counter attack. So I only ever remember seeing this game once in the store, and then if I see a game that's pretty unusual, I will try and jump on it if it's a good price as well. So it looked like it had been reduced down to $13. The same thing, I picked up Hero Land for the PS4 just the other day as well, because it was unusual and it was discounted, and if things are around the $10 mark, I tend to try and pick them up just for my own preservation, and my game room is getting very, very full indeed. That's what I normally notice, is it's French in the second half of the book. At least I hope it's French. I'm looking through my camera, but the same thing, but a nice, oh, that's a good back cover. Swarm. I don't remember hearing that game at all. So if you've heard of Swarm, if you've played Swarm, let me know. But it looks a bit like, Mercury Meltdown, the same developers, but I'm pretty sure Swarm was just digital only there. And we've got El Shaddai. Ascension of the Metatron. Number 6 is Puppeteer, valued at 73 Australian dollars, 49 US dollars, and 38 British pounds. Now, Puppeteer came out right at the end of the PS3's life. I believe it came out in 2014, so the PS4 was already released, and from what I remember, it was a day one release or a very quick release on PS Plus. So I remember seeing this in stores, but I had it on PlayStation Plus, so I had no reason to buy it. So I think that's what happened to a lot of copies of Puppeteer. They didn't really get bought, and I'm sure, being at the end of the PS3 life cycle, that not a lot of copies were printed either. But I actually just wanted to show you, remember when 3D games were a thing? I had a 3D TV, I bought the glasses, which were $140, and really the only games I played in 3D were Sonic Generations and Killzone 3, and to be honest, it was pretty average. So let's check out Puppeteer. It plays a little bit like Little Big Planet as well. I played about half of this game when it first came out. So step into the theatre of fantasy. Kotaro's in trouble. The evil Moon Bear King, Moon Bear Pig from South Park, has stolen his soul and turned him into a wooden puppet. Now Kotaro must defeat the Moon Realm's 12 fearsome generals, plus the tyrant himself, to find a way home. So we've got 21 strange lands, 100 unique puppet heads, and wield the magic scissors to cut your way through obstacles and enemies. Let's check out the inside. The disc is a little bit different to the cover, which I do like. I also like when there's some cool artwork as well set behind. There's the Puppeteer disc. What's really cool about this game is it's not just a manual, it's a Puppeteer program. So when I did buy this game, I bought this off Marketplace. The person had about 30 games for sale, and I just wanted to buy Puppeteer. And she messaged me back and saying, everyone keeps messaging me about Puppeteer, because it was really the one unique game she had amongst the 30 regular games. Welcome, a note from the director. I'm going to read that out before the show begins. So I do like they stick to the show theme. You've got your cast: Esma Potts, the Moon Bear King; Yin Yang, General Tiger; stage directions of how to play. So if you've played Little Big Planet, it's the same. You can play this with the Move controller, although I'm not sure anyone really wants to do that. I have the Move controllers. I don't really think I've ever used them, except for with the VR and to capture any footage for these videos. Losing your head, which is how you lose in the game. If you lose your head, you can't get it back. Reminds me a little bit like Yoshi's Story. But here's the spine. And there's Puppeteer. Number 5 is Time and Eternity, valued at 75 Australian dollars, 51 US dollars, and 39 British pounds. Now it is a JRPG, and I'm going to admit something, one that I have not played. There were so many awesome JRPGs on the PS3 at the time. I played through a lot of those things like Tales of Graces, Xillia 2, Star Ocean, Final Fantasy 13, Eternal Sonata. So there are so many RPGs I did play without managing to get to Time and Eternity. I think on Metacritic it sits around 60, so not the best game out there, but maybe a low print run, and that is the reason for the game being valued so much today. So pretty plain spine, but a new class of high def animation RPG. From world to battle to enemies, everything is hand drawn. Go back in time, prevent your own murder, and save your marriage. Take hold of swords, guns, and even time itself. Prepare for lightning-quick, real-time battles. I also remember playing Artanelico, Nell of RCL as well around this time, so many JRPGs to play. The disc, a little bit different from the cover, which again I do like. And I do have my original receipt, so even though I haven't played it, Time and Eternity, just $9, so I don't feel too bad that I haven't played it. And the EB World Level 3, $29.95. Now, from memory, you could level up to Level 3. It did cost $30, but you got a 12-month game magazine subscription sent to your door, so well worth the $30. And I bought something up here too for $5. Can't quite see what that is. I don't know, so let's move on. So that's my receipt. Decent size manual as well. It feels pretty hefty in the hand. It might be a multiple language booklet, but still should be pretty good. Let's check out what's in here. There's the story. You can pause that if you want to read that through. We've got our contents page, 24 pages. I think this is just in English. Game setup. I don't know what it needs to tell you about the title screen. How to play the game. What to do in the menus during battle. Use your skills. Here are characters. Toki Toa, the hero. Drake the dragon. How to advance the story. It's kind of got a static overworld map that you choose between. Home screen. That's a pretty good sized book for the PS3 era. They started to phase the books out as the PS3 era went on. Resonance of Fate, that's another, not JRPG, but RPG type game I played. Obviously, Elder Scrolls Skyrim. There was just so many RPGs to play in this era that these mediocre RPGs didn't always get played. There was also the Atelier series as well. So many indeed. But there is Time and Eternity. Number 4 is Azura's Wrath, valued at 78 Australian dollars, 53 US dollars, and 41 British pounds. Some controversy around this game was that the game's proper ending was locked behind DLC, so I don't know if that's what contributed to rather low sales and pushing the value of this game up now, but I know at the time a lot of people were very, very unhappy with the fact, not just a bonus or an epilogue, it was the actual proper ending of the game, locked behind a paywall. Pretty insulting when you've paid full price for a game. Now, luckily I didn't pay full price for this game, and I did play it for a couple of hours, so I didn't get to the end, but I felt like I did get my money's worth. It's a hack and slash of the highest order, which you definitely want to quote from Pimp TV. If I want someone to buy my game, that's my reputable source. A stunning mix of Asian mythology and sci-fi, seamlessly blending gameplay and story. To be fair, it's mostly story with quick time events, relentless action and near impossible challenges. Yeah, like whether to buy the DLC to get the proper ending. Betrayed by the gods, banished for 12,000 years, his wife killed, his daughter kidnapped. In a truly unique blend of breathtaking action and story, Azura's Wrath takes you on a relentless quest for revenge against foes with unimaginable powers. Rage never dies. Now, it is mainly story with quick time events from what I remember playing the game. So we've got a big receipt here, we'll get to that in a minute. The cover, yeah, is just the disc is the same as the cover, so I'm not going to get that out. Let's check out this receipt. We've got a Wii game for $4, Shadow of the Damned. Here is Azura's Wrath, $8. Now a lot of these games were discounted. I'm going to let you in on an EB game secret that I'm not sure whether they still do this. They used to price games like this, right? $16.08. The 8 cents was what the game was going to get discounted to. So if you notice $13.04, eventually it was going to be discounted to $4. So I knew of this hack, and so if I saw a game at $13.04, I would wait until it was down to $4. Same here, $9.04. What do we got on the other side here? Hey, we got my Tales of Hearts R pre-order. You're going to see that on a later Vita video. Love the Tales games. Probably should get back to Azura's Wrath, but this receipt, also very interesting. Things like this known as ephemera, so you might have learnt something in the video today. Things like a receipt that normally you would throw away that actually become interesting over time. Ephemera, that's the word of the day on Crabman Gaming. Azura's Wrath's got a cool booklet as well. Looks to be about a 14-page booklet. That's pretty standard. Here's the story. Again, if you want to pause it, go for it. Try and get the light off it there. It's a very dark and gloomy day here in Crabman Land. Normally, the outside light would be enough, the 7 deities. But it is grey, grey, grey. Mithra, the Goma. It's a pretty cool booklet. I like it getting started. You can check out the gameplay as well. Burst gauge, controls. So I don't think this game has been ported to any other system, so I think it's just a PS3 only game. Don't hold me to that. Maybe it's got an update by the time you're watching this. Azura's Wrath. Let's check out the spine. Alright, looks good. Number 3 is Short Piece, Ranko Tsukagimi's Longest Day. And what a strange old game this is. It is valued at 98 Australian dollars, 66 US dollars, and 51 British pounds. More of just an anime video than a game. It contains different works from different artists, rated MA, but a really interesting cover that I do like a lot. I like the spine as well, and kind of the Japanese flag there in the middle. And it's really the only game that I know of that is really promoting that it is more of a video than a game. So it says dramatic anime and video game in one package. A feast. It's getting close. For the imagination from the world's greatest creators. Manga and anime creator Katsuhiro Otomo, who's shaken up the world with his revolutionary works, heads a star-studded collection of brilliant artists, each showing their own unique style and the very cutting edge of technology. Don't miss this groundbreaking work, which truly typifies the essence of Japan. And these are the works that you get here: Possessions, Combustible, Gambo, a farewell to weapons, an opening animation, and then the fifth piece is this game here. So I did notice 68 minutes of runtime, and then a game here, which kind of is like a 2D side-scrolling run and gun. Put your skills to the test in a fast-paced game, a fast-paced action game set in modern Japan. Alright, let's check out the disc. The disc is kind of the same. Looks pretty normal. I do have, look what I found here, my original receipt. Now, it is very, very faded because I believe it's from 2016. So, I'm not sure if it's going to pick it up on there, but this was $10. And I remember when I saw this game, I saw that it was $10. It looked weird, so I bought it. Like, most of the games on this list or in my unique 10 list, and I tend to tuck the receipts in there. That's a good way to keep your receipts, although they can fade over time as well. I never really ever bothered redeeming those to become a member. Let's move that right out the way. Let's just check out the booklet here for Ranko Tsukagimi's Longest Day. Good sized booklet. Rather thick pages as well. It was quite hard to turn over. Exploring the hybrid disc. So, the hybrid disc contains 4 anime works plus a video game. So very, very unique. I don't know if there are any other games or PS3 media that is the same. So introducing the compilation. Maybe that's something they could have explored a little bit more on the PS3, having some more anime, half the disc being anime and half a game. That could have been good. Things like, I'm thinking of like Naruto. Maybe you could have had a couple of episodes on the disc as well if you had space. Short piece. She's living alone in a parking garage. She's the only daughter of leader of the underground conglomerate. By day, she's a run-of-the-mill schoolgirl with a bit of attitude. Always at school. Why is everyone at school in Japan? I know they go to school 6 days a week. It seems every game is set at school. And it is actually fast-paced as well, this game. So hopefully you enjoyed having a little look through and you're enjoying some of the footage as well. Number 2 is Armored Core Verdict Day, coming in at a value of 115 Australian dollars, 78 US dollars, and 60 British pounds, made by Bandai Namco. The Armored Core series is always quite hard to come by, but a pretty niche genre. So again, probably not a lot of copies of this game made. So we can check out the spine. I always mistakenly call this Armored Core 5 Verdict Day, but it is not. To secure peace, and you play as giant mechs. You must prepare for war. Strategy is at its utmost level. Secure the last remaining resources needed for your faction's survival. And this is not a game for the faint of heart. I believe it's a From Software game as well, but I believe that this game had a big online element, but you can play offline as well. 60 story missions, and it's actually really, really hard. Fight online with up to 10 players. And I think if you're playing online, these people are taking this seriously. I think Armored Core 5 just came out on the PS5 as well. So this series has made a little bit of a comeback. But generally, quite hard to find these Armored Core games. They're a very niche game. The disc is pretty much the same as the cover. And I do have my receipt. Snuck this in. $6, so absolute bargain. When I saw it, I knew it was a little bit unusual, so I picked it up. Oh, and I also got Rambo at the same time, which you saw kick off this video. So a very good day for Crabman collecting. And they're giving this game a little bit of a blast, but it is very, very hard. It does come with a cool book though as well. Table of contents, setting up, getting started. They always put setting up there like you don't know how to set up your own PS3 games. I'll let you have a little look at the prologue. 3 rival superpowers. This is the forgotten tale of a lone mercenary. You've got your 3 forces. It reminds me a little bit of playing June back in the day, or June 2 on the PC, where you had your 3 factions that would all fight each other as well. That was an awesome game. There's a June game on the PS4 and 5, but I haven't played that yet. So we are near the business end as well. Game number 2. There is just one game to go. What game is going to be more valuable here than Armored Core? I wonder if you have any thoughts of what it might be. Online play. Now, I don't think the servers are still online anymore. I don't think there's any real servers online. Very, very few. Maybe just some Call of Duties for the PS3. But that is Armored Core. Verdict day. Stay tuned for number 1. And my number 1 most valuable PS3 game is BioShock Infinite, the complete edition. Except, no, it isn't. Just like with Dark Souls 2, this has value all over the place. So I haven't included it officially on the list, but it's here as a little special bonus for you. For some reason, valued anywhere from $185 Australian, really to anything. I had a little look on eBay, and the cheapest I could find with the Australian cover was $90 plus $20 shipping. So really this game seems to be going anywhere from 75 US to 125 US, or somewhere around the £100 mark. So I thought I'd include it as a little bonus and blast through. Now what's different is it includes all the add-on packs, I believe, on the disc, but I could be wrong, so let me know in the comments if that is not the case. Again, in the US, I think you can pick this up for like $10 or $20. I don't know why this Australian version is so rare, but an awesome game. I remember this getting 10 out of 10 when it came out. The year is 1912, deep in debt. Brooke DeWitt has only one opportunity for a clean slate. Rescue Elizabeth, a mysterious girl in prison since childhood in the flying city of Columbia. So most people have probably played BioShock Infinite, but you can see it's got the season pass, which includes Clash in the Clouds, Burial at Sea, and some other stuff there as well. Let me actually hold it steady. I'm going for a long time on this video. Alright, so the disc looks different as well, because you get the disc with the kind of red top, the complete edition, along with the booklet as well. So it's pretty similar, except you get the red star, welcome to Columbia, how to play. Oh gee, I hope no one's played this with the move controls. I don't really know many games that have been made better with the move controls that weren't the VR games as well. So hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of footage of the intro here of BioShock Infinite. Do you have a favourite between BioShock, BioShock 2 and BioShock Infinite? Do you have a favourite game that you like? Well, we are just about at number 1, so hopefully you enjoyed having a little look at BioShock Infinite, the complete edition. And my number 1 most valuable PS3 game is Dark Souls 2 Black Armor Edition, except it is not. Pricing was all over the place for this game. I had a range from $200, and then the next time I looked it was $142. I looked at the US copies, and you can get one of those for $20. But where I think the price is spiking all over the place is this Australian PAL slipcase. So I'm going to put this game in as a little bit of an unranked bonus. Probably valued anywhere from 140 to 200 Australian dollars. But in the US, you seem to have lots of copies of this game. And I'm going to show you what I actually got included in the Dark Souls 2 Black Armor Edition. So it was too interesting not to put in this game. So if it is 142 to 200 Australian dollars, it's about 100 to 135 US, and about 75 to 100 pounds. So let's have a look. We've got this slip cover, which I kind of like over a steelbook, but go beyond death. From Software's grueling breakout hit returns to claim your soul. And this is what you get in the Black Armor Edition. So you get the steel box and the game, and you get an official soundtrack, and you got some early access to some shields and weapons but they did expire in 2019, so you won't get that anymore. And really, you wouldn't know this is just PAL Australian unless you had the slipcover. But that is one of the most awesome steelbook cases that I've ever seen. It even looks pretty cool on the back as well. But I am giving that 5 stars out of 5. But what do you get inside? Now, I got a little bit of a bonus in mine. First of all, I'm going to show you the CD. I'm just going to pull out the CD. You've got all the tracks on there and some cool artwork back there as well. This did come out in 2014. What I do like with the PS3 is that when you got a CD, you can actually play it in the PS3. Your collector's edition with the PS4 doesn't actually play CDs. I don't know if you knew that or not, but you can't play them in your PS4. I tried that, it doesn't work. Dark Souls 2, we get the cool book. Now this is a huge book, so I'm going to have to go quick. It's a 30-page book. It's always getting started every time. They must have been forced to put that in there. So if it's controls, I'm just going to flip through quick. There's stamina. There's some more game controls. Reading the screen, what's going on with your character. What's going on is you're probably going to die. That's what's going to happen in Dark Souls. Now, I originally did have Demon Souls. Was the first one that I had, but very hard indeed. But I know a lot of people are big fans of this, like Bloodborne, all the sequels. I know they remastered, I think it was Demon Souls for the PS5 upon release. I'm not sure if they've made one lately though. Okay. I was going to say the book wasn't super exciting here until you've got to the different classes, and we've got some good artwork going. If you have beaten Dark Souls 2, let me know down below. The Deprived, poor fella, it's not looking like he's having a good time. So many credits, and Are You Without Hope? Detailed YouTube video. So I like there's an official YouTube channel, so I've never really seen that before. Let's slide to the other side. You can register your game. This was the extra add-on, which now won't work, so you can't even steal that off me. And for some reason, I did get the disc, which is the Dark Souls 2 disc, and obviously I bought this second-hand, but in my copy I got Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition was snuck in there as well. So I think when this game was sold to me, I think they thought that this disc was supposed to be in there and they didn't realize it wasn't a part of this whole package. So I kind of already had it, but it's pretty cool to have the first Dark Souls in there and the second Dark Souls. And I did a little bit of research online, and you're not supposed to have Dark Souls 1 in there as well, but I do. So again, a really tricky game to try and price because it has jumped all over the place. So not an official entry on the list, but a special bonus for you, Dark Souls 2 Black Armor Edition. And we have reached the grand finale. This is the real number one, my most valuable PlayStation 3 game, and it is the infamous Godzilla. Now, I know this game is on PlayStation 4 as well, but you may not know that the PlayStation 3 version is almost as valuable. This game is currently valued at an absolutely whopping and astounding 323 Australian dollars. That is $218 US and 169 pounds. Unlike some of the other games on the list, this game is expensive in every single region. Even a Japanese copy is going to cost you over $100. So let's have a look. Hopefully you are enjoying the footage. Now, this does say $49 from JB Hi-Fi. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I picked this game up not for $49, not for $40, not for $20. I actually picked this game up on clearance for $1 single dollar. At the time, I knew the PS4 version was getting a little bit pricey. It was around $100 at the time, so I thought, hey, I'll pick up the PS3 version, and I didn't really think anything of it until the price absolutely skyrocketed. The game honestly is pretty average. Become the king of the monsters, movie-like action and gameplay, battle against legendary monsters. So it's nothing to write home about, but I know for some people it is becoming one of those absolute grails that they must own, more so on the PS4 than the PS3. So I'm not sure some people are even aware that there is a PlayStation 3 version. So we'll go through the booklet last. Hollywood Godzilla, day one bonus, no disc included, DLC only. It's probably expired, it expires in 2020, so you know, if you want to try and use the code there, go ahead. I've never really done any of this registering, but let's go through the Godzilla booklet. If you haven't flicked a like down the bottom, do that really quickly, because we've got plenty more of these top 10, bottom 10 and unique 10 videos to go. There are heaps of them. PS4, 3, 2, 1 and Vita. Table of contents. We get a nice sized book though here with Godzilla. Starting the game. I did get this game from new as well, so it was in the clearance section. We've got Godzilla's atomic breath. How to play. Do some tail whipping. And if you haven't checked out a song called Godzilla, actually it's called Godzilla's Lament by Evil Scarecrow. Wink wink, go check it out. Pretty funky tune. It's quite heavy. It's a little warning. God of Destruction mode. So you can devastate cities. So as you can see in the footage, absolutely destroying some cities, knocking down buildings, basically being as destructive as Godzilla can be. And as he gets bigger as well, the more damage and destruction that you do. I had a good time capturing the footage for Godzilla. I don't know if I have the patience to sit through the entire game though. That could be up to you if you've got this on PS3 or PS4. So maybe you could just download it off the PlayStation Network. Well, it was a bit stuck together. And maybe you can enjoy Godzilla that way. But if you do want a physical copy of this game, it is going to set you back a few $100s. And it has been Crabman from Crabman Gaming. If you have enjoyed today's video, please make sure you put a little like down the bottom, commented maybe your most valuable PlayStation 3 game, subscribe if you haven't, there's super thanks, and there are plenty more of these videos. We've got top 10, bottom 10, most unique games for the PlayStation 4, 3, 2, 1, PlayStation Vita, and if they do well, I'll do some for a few other systems as well. Until next time, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you later.